Hello, good morning dear student. Today I am going to explain a very important topic of class 10th, that is how to prove a square root of any prime number, that is an irrational number. Okay, dear student, here I will explain if there is any prime number, maybe square root of 2, square root of 5, square root of 3, square root of 11, square root of 13, any number, means any prime number is given in a square root form, then we can prove that number as a irrational number. So what are the procedure to solve such type of number? Dear student, here we use a contradiction method. Okay, contradiction method means here first of all we assume this number, whatever I take, for example I take root 7 here. If suppose that root 7 is a what? I take a rational number. If I assume it a rational number, that means contradiction means our supposition become wrong, and what is happening, then we can say this number is not be a rational. Then what we call it? Then we can call it irrational number, means opposite of rational. Now in your mind there is a question, why I take your rational number? Why not prime number? Why not co-prime number? Why not any other number? Why rational? Why I am assuming here rational, not other than rational? Dear student, reason is that because if we assume here this number is a rational number, okay, and we know very well a contradiction means whatever we suppose here, that means it become a wrong, and if it become wrong, that means this number is not be a rational number. If this is not be a rational number, then what should be the answer? Then answer should be this number is a irrational number, because if it will not a rational number, then credit goes to irrational number, means because I take here opposite. If one thing is false, what will the correct second thing, and what is the second thing? Irrational number. First thing is rational number. I assume here rational number, but it will not satisfy the conditions of rational number. So this number is not a rational number. Then we can say this number should be irrational number. That is the reason I take here root 7 as a rational number. Okay. Now after understanding first line, I will write here. Suppose that this number in square root of 7 is a rational number. Okay. Now after supposing this number is a rational number, then dear student, here I use contradiction method. Contradiction method say, if you suppose this number as a rational number, but after comparing this number with a rational number, means comparing this number with the properties of rational number, if it will not satisfy the condition of rational number, that means this number is not be a rational number. So that is the contradiction here. Okay, means our supposition become wrong, and this number is not be a rational number, and it called irrational number. That is the reason I take here opposite. Getting? So after supposing this number is a rational number, now I will write here that this number is a equal to be a rational number, means I put A upon B, P upon Q, Q upon P, whatever you want. Sometimes students confusing here, they write P upon Q. Why not you write Q upon P? If you write Q upon P, there is any difference? No, because P, Q, all these are alphabets which are representing numerator and denominator. You can choose any numerator, maybe A upon Q, A upon P, whatever you want. But you have to keep in your mind, whenever you choose A upon B, then keep in your mind A is your numerator and below you write that is your denominator, and keep in your mind both A and B should be co-prime. Okay, both integers should be co-prime and B not equal to be 0. This is the conditions for a rational number. If this number follow these conditions, then this number called a rational number. If it not follow these conditions, then this number is not be a rational number. Clear? So dear student, I will also tell this number is actually irrational number. And how can you identify this is rational or irrational? Dear student, I already explained in my previous video how to check any number, either that number is rational or irrational. Okay, maybe it may be in decimal form, maybe in a fractional form. I explained all these things in my previous video, so please watch my previous video, that is number system part 3. I already explained in English medium as well as in Hindi medium. Whatever suit for you, you can watch it. Now after writing this, now what I want to write here, I want to write here, yes, so I put this number equal to be a rational number. For example, I take here A upon B, because a rational number is that number which we can write in the fractional form. So I take this number as a rational number, so I put this number is equal to a rational number, means equal to a fraction. I assume this is equal to be a rational number. Getting? Now, and you know very well, I take here two integers A and B. These are two integers, and keep in mind integers are all those numbers which are never in a form of fraction, means A never in a fraction form, B never in form of fractional form. Getting? This is a complete fraction, but I only talking about these two alphabet. Okay, so keep in your mind these should be integers. Okay, this is your numerator where B is your denominator. Here numerator and denominator should be integers and also co-prime. Okay, and denominator not equal to be 0. These are the conditions which are necessary for a rational number. So what I am writing here, where A comma B are co-prime integers. Okay, and I take denominator here B. I can also write denominator not equal to be 0, but here I take B, so I write here B not equal to be 0. That means B not equal to be 0. Dear student, this is very important, co-prime and this condition. Okay, what do you mean by co-prime? If you not remember all these things, I revise it. Co-prime means any two integers, if these two integers have a common highest factor, that is called HCF, highest common factor is 1, then these two integers are called co-prime. Then these two numbers are called co-prime. Co-prime means relatively prime. They are called relatively prime. Okay, actually they may be not prime, but relatively they called prime if the highest common factor is 1. Getting? So after doing this, what I am doing here, dear student, I have square root of 7 is equal to A upon B. Then what I do, I will write here squaring on both sides. Okay, means actually what I want to do here, dear student, I assume here these two integers are co-prime. Okay, but whenever I proceed further, then I will get a new factor, that is 7, which also divide this number and this number. Okay, you get further whenever I solve. Okay, so dear student, whenever you get one more factor, then it become a not co-prime integers. Then these integers called not co-prime number. Then supposition become wrong. That means contradiction. Whatever I assume here, that is not satisfied. Okay, means this number is not be a rational number. It will happen when I prove these two integers have more than one factor. Getting? So these integers are not become a co-prime. If these integers are not become co-prime, that means this is not be a rational number, and this means this, because this is equal to be this. If this is not a rational number, so this is equal to be this, then this also be not a rational number. Okay, are you getting? So how can I prove these integers have one more factor? So dear student, there is a procedure. What is the procedure? First of all, I squaring on both sides. Okay, now I write here on squaring both sides, we get getting. If you square this number, what you get? You get 7. Why 7? I will tell you. Actually, square root means power half. Okay, if there is a 7, okay, and you put this 7 here, and you know very well there is again square. So if you put this square here, what you get, dear student? Power of power. You know very well in small class, means 6th, 7th classes, power multiplied by power, what you get? You will get half, okay, multiplied by 2, means power of power multiply here. So 2 cancel 2. 2 is cancelled by 2. What you get here? 7 raised to power 1. And 7 raised to power 1 means only 7. Getting? Means 7 is 1 time. So I write here 7. So here what I get? I get 7 is equal to a square upon b square. What I am doing? I separate this power. I give this power numerator and denominator. This is the again rule in maths. Whenever there is a common power of any fraction, then we can separate it in a denominator form and numerator form. Now, dear student, I get here. Next step is this. After this, what I am doing here, I put here 1. Okay, you can write 7 as a 7 upon 1, and now multiply this number here. You can get 7 multiplied by b square, that is a square. Okay, and it become your equation number 1. After writing this, what you do? You have to write this thing, b square you have to put here, and 7 is here in multiplication form. Whenever you take this in other side, it comes in a division form. You know very well in small classes. So it become b square is equal to a square upon 7. So from this, dear student, from this what you understand? You understand here 7 divides a square. Okay, 7 divides a square. So in your book there is a theorem. If any number divide, any number means any prime number, keep in mind, if any prime number divide a square of any other number, then it must be divide base of that number. That means I want to write here a square is divisible by 7. Okay, so by theorem 1.3, which is given in your book, a is also divisible by 7. Okay, means if 7 can divide square of any number, then 7 also divide the base of that number. Getting? You can take this number. If I take here, for example, I take a as a 7. Okay, so a square become power of 7. Okay, and if a square is divisible by 7, that means 7 square of 7, you get 49, and divided by 7 means 7 divide 49. How many times? 7 times. Then what you get? You get 7. Okay, if 7 can divide square of any number, then 7 also divide this. This means base. So what is the base? 7. So 7 can divide also 7. But keep in your mind, this number should be, means divisor should be prime number, not be any other number like 4, 6. Getting? So I hope you understand what I want to say. Here I explain 7 divide a power of any number, then 7 also can divide a base of that number. This is the theorem of 1.3. So if 7 can divide a, that means 7 is a factor of a. So what it represent here? It represent here 7 is a factor of a. Now I will write here. Okay, so 7 is a factor of a. Getting? Question number 2. Okay, dear student, I prove here 7 is a factor of a. Okay, now next is I want to prove 7 also divide b. Okay, means 7 is also a factor of b. If I prove this again, then it means I write square root of 7 is equal to a upon b, and I take these two integers as a co-prime. But if I get one more factor of these two integers, common factor, because 7 is a factor of a, again I prove 7 also divide b, that means b, and that means 7 is a factor of b. So factor of a is 7, factor of b is 7, that means there is a common factor. So common factor, what you get? 7. And you know very well these two integers already have one common factor. Okay, one is a common factor of these two integers, but you new factor also get, that is 7. Means how many factor you get here? You get 2 factors, 1 and 7. So if you get 2 factors, that means these two integers are not be a co-prime number. If these two integers are not co-prime numbers, that means this is not be a rational number. If this is not a rational number, then what you can say? Then you can say irrational number. If it will not fulfill the conditions of rational number, then we can say this is not be a rational number. Then what we say? We can say this is an irrational number. Clear? Now second part I am proving here. Dear student, here what I get? A have a factor that is 7. Okay, or we can 7 is a factor of a. Now if a have factor 7, then you can write 7 as a multiple of, because 7 is a factor of this number, so you can write factor of a are 7 multiplied by any integers, let k, or you can say right a is equal to 7k. Okay, I write in this way 7 multiplied by k, so that you can understand very well. For example, I want to find the factor of 4. What you get? You write 1 4 ja. Okay, in this way 2 2 ja 4. So these numbers are called factor of 4. So similarly, factor of a is here 7, and 1 I take k. 7 multiplied by k, a time. So what you get? You get a. So here, where you can write where k is any integer. Okay, any positive integers. Okay, I write here positive integer. Dear student, I hope you understand it very well, because here I assume let a is equal to be 7k, means a is a 7 time of any integer. Because 7, why write here 7? 7 is a factor, so I can write this a in 7 multiplied by any integer. Clear? Now after writing this, I put this value in first equation. Okay, why? Because I want to prove here 7 also divide b square, that means 7 also divide b. Okay, and it give you 7 is a factor of b. So how can we get it? Now I will put value of a in this equation. So what I get here, 7 multiplied by b square is equal to a square. So value of a is here 7k, I take here square. So what I get here, 7b square is equal to b, okay, 7k, and you know very well 7k power 2. So what do we mean by this? 7k 2 times. So 7 7s are 49, k multiplied by k, what you get? Power 2. Okay, 1 power 1 power. Whenever any common base are given, then power are add. So what you get? K square. K multiplied by k, k square. So how many k square? 49 k square. After getting this step, dear student, what I am doing here, I will shift this 49 in this side. Here, if you know very well, 49, this is a 49 multiplied by k square. If I take this 49 in this side, what it become? It become 7 upon 49, means this 49 here in a multiplication form, but here it become a division, it comes in a divide form. Getting? So if you observe this, here I can divide it, 7 1 is 7, 7 7 is 49. What you get? You get here 1 multiplied by b square divided by 7 is equal to k square, and again 1 multiplied by something, you get again same thing, b square upon 7 is equal to k square. Dear student, again here you reach at the second condition. What is the second condition? Here what you seems, it seems here 7 divides b square. Clear? If 7 divide b square, by theorem 1.3, okay, we say if any prime number divide a square of any number, then it should be divide the base of that number. That means I use same thing which I write here. I will not write again and again. Okay. Now I write here b square. Okay. What I write here, b square is divisible by 7. That means, so by theorem 1.3, b, then b means base, b also divisible by 7. Getting? Means I prove here 7 divide b. Okay, if 7 divide b, that means 7 is a factor of b. So you know very well, hence, so we get here 7 is a factor of b. Okay, this is your third equation. I write here third equation. So if you compare equation number 2 and third, means equation, never confused by equation, you just remember that. Here what I prove, here two things I prove. 7 is a factor of a, because 7 divide a. So any number which divide any other number, then that number is called a factor of that one. Okay, so here 7 is a factor of b. So 7 is a factor of a, 7 is a factor of b. Here what you reach? You reach at 7 is a common factor of these two numbers. That means 7 also divide this, also divide these two numbers. Means these two numbers are not be a co-prime number. Co-prime number means they have only one common factor. That means they cannot be reduced. Okay, that means, dear student, these two integers which you called are co-prime number, then these are not become a co-prime number. That means these are not be a co-prime numbers. If these are not co-prime number, that means this is the contradiction. Or contradiction means whatever I suppose here, it become wrong. I suppose here this is your rational number, but what it represent? But it represent here, this is not be a rational number. So what I do, I write here from equation number 2 and 3 we get we get 7 is a common factor of A and B. Common factor of A and B. Hence, this is the contradiction. So this is the contradiction. Okay, or contradiction means our position become wrong. You can also write our position become wrong. So this number is not be a rational number. So what it called? It called a irrational number. Getting? Therefore, square root of 7 is an irrational number. In this way I solve this problem. Dear student, if there is any square root of 2, 3, 4, the same procedure is going here. Okay, you can solve this question in same way. First of all, you have to prove this number which is written here, maybe 2. 2 is divide this number, 2 divide also this number. That means you get a common factor 2. So it become 2 common factor. So these two integers are not become a co-prime. If these are not become co-prime, that means that is not be a rational number. Then what it called? It called the irrational number. I hope you understand. In next video I will explain if there is any sum operations. Maybe I write this number in this form: square root of 7 plus 2, square root of 7 minus 2, or we can say square root of 7 multiply by 2. Okay, means I can write 2 here. Okay, in this way, 2 multiply by square root 7. It maybe comes in this form, square root 7 divided by 2. So these are 4 questions which we solve in next video. Okay, thus procedure of solving this question is different from this question. Okay, these questions you can solve in this way, but these questions we solve in different way. So I will tell in the next video. Up to this, I hope you understand very well. Thank you for watching this video.